Here are the lollipop trees in full glory. Oh man, they're pretty. Here, let's get it in the sunlight. Look at that. Isn't that just incredible? This is supposed to be a JB, and I had an S, and I'll show you what I did. But if you plant tall flowers to make a design or letter, it doesn't work because they flop. But oh my gosh, you should smell these babies. These are the pheasant type narcissus, and oh my gosh, they smell good. Oh, I can smell them right now. And if you hear that funny little dee-dee-dee-dee noise, I've got two bald eagles flying around, but of course you can't see them right now. Good, two bald eagles. So here are these narcissus. We planted some of the S over here. And here come the iris and weeds. Oh look, here's some iris blooms coming. Right there, and is that it? Anyway, I can't see through the viewfinder very well. Here's a great big Russian sticker thistle. And then these are a smaller iris, kind of a water iris or something. Here's John's, what do you call them? Catnip, cattails, and the dragonfly he made. And this is out of window weights, out of old-fashioned windows that would go up and down. Here's the patio. And he's taken away the chairs right now because he's working on making wider feet so when they go in between the stones, they don't just sink. And here's some little scilla or bluebells and the rose that we pruned way back. Here's a wild sweet pea, great big purpley lavendery blooms, but the deer end up eating it even though I spray it. And then here's more narcissus, and they used to be planted all along here, but they quit blooming because they were so crowded. But look, Jessica planted these on the north side of the milk house. Look at them. Oh my, I should have my chair here and just sit here and smell them. And then here are the daffodils finishing up my rhododendron that has struggled for years because the stupid mice bury them, you know, make trails, and then they dig down and they ate the roots. So this whole side of the plant died, but this year, we've been fighting it last year and the year before, and been putting manure and stuff on. Look at it, it has gone absolutely nuts. I love it. This is why I bought it. It was so pretty. And the lady was going to put it in a show. And I bought it and gave it a very sorry life. Oh, I love pink. You know, I love pink. Oh, look, and here's backlit with the sun coming through the petals. I know you've probably seen enough, but I'll show you the rest of the garden. This is a hydrangea. It's kind of that white green, I forgot the name of it, and sad little strawberries. Mom gave them to me, and I don't know how to grow them very well. I need to mulch them. And then I put my primroses back. They don't do very well. But anyway, this row was supposed to be asparagus, and now it didn't even come up at all. Last year, two little sad ones came up. These are the dahlias that I didn't get to, and so we're leaving them here to see if they come up or anybody lives. I'm expecting nobody to live. These, John's trying hops, and one has come up, and I'll shade it so you can maybe see it, but there's a hop. So we're hoping to sell it to the local brewer. Here the raspberries are. They're starting to make little tiny flowers, and they're sending up all sorts of new ones, and the new ones are the ones that will fruit next year. They kind of come up everywhere. This part of the garden I haven't planted yet, and I've got a lot to go in, and I'm kind of nervous. I put fingerling potatoes here, and I put sweet peas down there, and two kinds of potatoes down here, Yukon Gold and the Burbank Russet. I thought, okay, I know they're overplanted, but I'm going to give them a try. I like them, and I've never done the Burbank Russet before. Good old baked potatoes. These are Walla Walla onions, and I bought them as starts. So, you know, it's nothing fabulous going there yet. And then John planted corn. It's a Indian type corn. It's a black corn, and it stays sweet even when it gets real ripe. So it's actually coming up. I was teasing him because he put it in too early. And then I've got spinach and lettuce and arugula, and I think that's it. And then we have 2 rows of garlic, and then he planted peas that are coming up. So you can see some. And then over here with the rhubarb, we have garlic. We planted that last fall, so it's nice and big. And then late summer we harvest it, and then I'm going to put sunflowers and maybe squash or more corn there. And there's the rhubarb. Love rhubarb. And you may think I'm silly for just worrying about having this much for garden leftover when I have all this. This all goes to dahlias, and he's starting to put the stakes, and he's going to dig me the holes, and I put the dahlia tubers in. These two, and I've been trying to get rid of, are catnip, and there's chives. So I need to get started on this, but I put in more garden this morning. This is what we do with our lawn mowings. There's a lot of lawn. And we mulch, and then when I get things planted, he'll mulch down the rows, and that keeps in the water and out the weeds and revitalizes the ground. So he grows bamboo, so we got our own bamboo stakes walking along. And then in a while this will start to smell. Oh look, here's a pile of petals. It'll start to smell like silage because it's composting. Those are garlics if you leave them in and don't move them. So I don't know, he's going to have to move them before we rototill this. And that's, I think, clumps of shallots. And then there is a rogue, or actually he didn't rototill it, what do you call it? Delphinium. And then to keep my squash away, because last year I had pumpkattas, delicatas, and pumpkins that mixed, I'm going to put more pumpkins, or different kind of squash down here, and all these dahlias will keep them separate from any I plant up here. Jay, I'm hiding behind one of the pear trees. They're pretty, but boy, they're noisy. And they eat cat food if you have it on the porch. Let's see if I can make sure he knows I'm here. Here's the bird bath that nobody uses, but it's pretty and it keeps the deer out of my plants. Here are my potatoes, tomatoes, and one pepper plant. There's the pepper plant there. See, I just picked some. And I think these are cilantro. So they have to go in the garden eventually. There's the lilac I filmed in front of. An apple tree. Lots of little trees behind there blooming. This lilac is called Wedgwood Blue, and you can see why. Love this guy. Here are the raspberries growing along, getting little tiny buds. And here's the garden. Hasn't progressed too much. The corn's coming up there, and the peas are up. John's got grass in between the rows. Catnip, chives, and I've got some dahlias in, and then I decided it was too wet, but so he's dug more holes so that that'll dry out. Here's celery, one pepper. Oh, looks like the slugs are working that one over. More celery, tomatoes are inside there, and these are the old dahlias. We're seeing if they live. Here's the gorgeous rhododendron. And here is my, oh gosh, asparagus that the slug's been eating, and John put out slug bait, which is, oh my gosh, it's beer, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I can see slugs in those. Ugh, I think I feel ooky. I put 2 more tomato plants here. Oh look, there's a slug climbing on it. I'm going to go get, I mix ammonia and water and spray them when they're little like that. And strawberries, so I hope I get strawberries. The birds usually get them. And hydrangea plant. This guy, let's walk around him. He's so pretty. I took some stills of him. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. But that's the way it would have looked if the mice hadn't killed the other side. Oh, here is my pink lilac. And so I call this the pink garden because I wanted everything pink here. Look, they're doubles. Just beginning to open, some of them. But I think it was the cold winter really made them happy. I've heard that that's what apples need, is a chilly, you know, a couple freezes. So this guy's finally, and look, he's finally taller than me. So that's the garden so far. So you hear the peas in between. When you mow the lawn, then you just mulch with your lawn clippings. And then these are garlics. These two are garlics. And here comes the corn. And more garlic. And John's painting fence. Sweet peas are growing. They haven't been at yet. And the narcissus are at their height. So I have to show Jessica, because she planted all these over here. And there's more. The grass is grown, but it's too wet to mow. There's more over there. But oh, here, let's smell some. Oh, yeah. Rhubarb is at its height. Look at how wonderful that is. Okay, I brought in the rhubarb, washed it, and now I'm chopping it up. And comfort foods. And then, husband chopped most of this, as I was planting potatoes this morning. Oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this wonderful green. That noise you hear is him out there working on the chair feet. Oh, almost as good as my soap, of course, but this we're cooking down into a sauce, and I'll put sugar and like a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Kind of takes out any little tart, I don't want to say bitterness, but anyway, there it is. Yeah, so I have it on like number 1 or number 2, real low heat. Keep a lid on it, and it cooks down for a couple of hours. And then I'll put it in containers and freeze it for the winter. And then you put it with honey Greek yogurt, and you have a sort of diety dessert. I know you're going to weld and I can't look, but here's the feet he's making on the garden chairs, the patio chairs. Oh, and here are the chair feet that he made. I added those little round things so that they don't just sink in the sand when they're not on the basalt. So, there's that.